friends. How are you today? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Sorry, I'm just getting cozy. Um, so it's the end of July. I start school 1 month from today, um, and mm, I'm excited, but I'm not excited to see summer come to an end. So, whatever. Kind of conflicted, I guess, but I am overall excited about it. So yesterday, no, not yesterday, Saturday, I went to a plant expo with my niece. It was for exotic plants and it was in Connecticut. It's a state over, but it was really just like an hour away. So um, we both bought some new plants. So I'm excited about that. I still have to repot them. What's the matter, little guy? Come here. Maxwell is meowing at me. Come here, little guy. No? Okay. So, I really haven't done a lot of reading this month. I went to my mom's, which was a lot of fun, but I didn't read while I was there. Um, I made sure I read a half an hour a day just to so I could keep up my goal. However, I didn't really get into it. So, I think the last thing I told you about was Incidents Around the House. Well, I finished The Unwedding by Ali Condi. I told you about that. And then I read Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. Yeah. I think I had just started it, my last video, but that book is creepy as all get out. It is so creepy. The whole book is told from the perspective of a 6-year-old, which just makes it way more creepy. Like, it was creepy. Great book. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. Then I picked up Reese Witherspoon's book club book for July, which is J. Courtney Sullivan's The Cliffs. I loved this book so much. It shouldn't have taken me like 3 weeks to read it. But again, I was at my mom's for part of that. I did get a bunch read on the plane because while it's a 3-hour flight, let me tell you about my flight. Okay. My way down to Florida, thinking I was not welcome in Florida, and I'll tell you why. So my flight was supposed to leave Providence at like 3:15, 3:30ish. Supposed to be arriving in Florida at 6:15, 6:30ish. Um, Before I left my house, my flight had been delayed half an hour. And I was like, whatever, I'm not sitting here for another half hour because my agita. Mm-hmm. I'd rather wait at the airport than be sitting here waiting to leave. So I left at 1 o'clock and I got to the airport at like 1:15 and I did everything I was supposed to do. I checked in, I went to the gate. As I'm walking to the gate, I get another delay that it's been delayed another half hour. So now we're looking at 4:30, coming in at 7:30. Still not ridiculous. It was a direct flight. Then, as I'm sitting there, it gets delayed again and again. Yay. Um, yeah. So that was not fun. So I'm just sitting at the gate on the floor reading The Cliffs. Finally, the plane comes in and everybody disembarks. We got on at 4:30, which wasn't ridiculous, especially since it had been postponed a couple of other times. I took JetBlue so I could see in the screen on the chair in front of me, the seat in front of me, they have the screens. I could see where we were, and I could see that we were like over Orlando. And then we were going back out to sea. And then we were coming back to Orlando. And then we were going back out to sea. And I'm going, why are we heading out to sea? Like, we should be landing. Maybe it's just not our turn. Maybe we hadn't gotten clearance. Yeah, no, we didn't get clearance. You want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because there was a severe storm watch. There was lightning, thunder. It was awful. So we circled and circled and circled for about 45 minutes until the pilot comes on over the intercom and says that they don't have any idea when Orlando Airport was going to reopen for safe landings, and that he was concerned about fuel, and so we were going to Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, I went to Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. So that was 45-minute flight, I guess, 45 minutes, half hour. We got there. We landed. Apparently, my stepdad told me that 10 minutes after we took off towards Fort Lauderdale, the Orlando airport opened. So if we had flown in a circle for 10 more minutes, we probably could have landed. But that's okay. Safety is of the utmost concern. I know I didn't want to run out of fuel, so it's fine. So we go to Fort Lauderdale, and we're sitting on the tarmac because we don't get off the plane. No, we just sit on the plane. So we sit on the plane. We were there for about at least an hour and a half, maybe longer. We got fuel, and then there was a maintenance issue that they needed to take care of. I don't know what the maintenance issue was. I mean, thank you for being proactive and taking care of an issue before it was an issue. But, yeah, maintenance issue. And then we had to sit there even longer and wait for paperwork. Now, he said it was paperwork, electronic paperwork, but it was still paperwork that needed to be cleared due to the maintenance issue. Okay, fine. But then I also think that because it wasn't the normal route, I'm thinking he needed to have some sort of special clearance so that way we could go from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando. So I landed, 3-hour flight, kind of like Gilligan's Island, a 3-hour tour. Anyway, we didn't land until like 11:45, and then by the time I got off the plane, walked to luggage, found my mom and Bob, got my luggage, then we got in the car and we drove to their house, which is about 45 minutes, not too bad, but still. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I originally was supposed to land at 6:30. Yeah, so that was fun. The next day, which was Tuesday, who was up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 6:15? Yes, I got like 4 hours of sleep. My mother and I sat there all day like this, just staring at each other, at the dogs, like we were useless. We were useless. My flight home, however, was perfect. We boarded early. We took off on time. I was 20 minutes coming in early. I was 20 minutes early flying in. That's what. So I just feel like for some reason Florida didn't want me in their state because the flight down was such a nightmare. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I was reading this. I started this on the plane and read for like 6 hours because what else was I going to do? I was stuck in a seat on the plane. So I got quite a bit of this read, and then I didn't finish it until I got home. But this book, I love this book. I think this was the first book of hers that I actually read. I have a few of them, but I don't think I've read them. I think this was the first one, and I will definitely read anything else that she writes because this was amazing. The research that she put into this and the way she wove history into the story was beautiful. It was beautiful. It takes place in Maine. It's about a girl who doesn't have a great relationship with her mother or her sister because they're all alcoholics, but she doesn't think that she is. Um, yeah, she thinks that she has it under control, but she doesn't. Um, her name is Jane, and she ends up at like this. She works for Harvard, I believe it was. Yes, she's a Harvard archivist. Okay, so they had this whole big shindig going on that she was in charge of planning and putting it through, and she was in charge of the whole thing. And then she ends up making out with one of her colleagues who is it's not a colleague, it's a student. Yeah. And so she is put on a leave of absence. And so her mom has passed away. She goes to Maine to try to settle her mom's estate and work through with her sister and all of that. But they talk about the Shakers. They talk about the indigenous tribes of Maine, like back in the 1600s. Um, and one of the tribes that they talk about is the Odanak tribe. So the reason why I found that interesting is because a few years ago, my aunt technically was doing some um, research into our family tree, and she found that we are descended from the Odanak tribe in Canada. But this book takes place before it takes place before the United States. So they were like in Maine and in Canada, and they would travel between the two. They'd come down to Maine for the summers and go back up for the winters, I suppose. Um, but I loved this book. 5-star read, no doubt. Thank you, Reese, for choosing this as your book of the month for July. I will tell you that since I started doing Reese Witherspoon's book of the month, um, there hasn't been one book that I haven't enjoyed. So, would I have picked this up? Maybe. Would I have read it now? Probably not, because I have a habit of seeing a book, buying it, or putting it on my Kindle and forgetting it's there. And so it takes me a while to get into to read all the books that I want to read. Um, but I am so glad that I read this one. It is a longer book, but it was well worth every second. Let me tell you how much it was. How many pages is it? 369 pages. So it's not really that long. It's not like it's 600 pages. But this was so good. I highly suggest picking this up, especially if you like historical fiction. Um, it was amazing. It was great. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that one. So that has basically taken me all month to read. Yeah, just because. Then I am listening to Daisy Jones and the Six on Audible. That's another book that I started listening to like the beginning of the month, and I haven't really listened to it too much. I just Usually what I do is I listen to an audiobook on my way to work and on my way home from work. And because I haven't been going to work, it's just not in my repertoire to listen to it while I am at home. So, am I enjoying it? Yes, very much. But I just don't, like, I don't know. I listen to a book while I'm driving because I am driving and there's nothing else that for me to do while I am driving. So I listen to a book. Here I'm at home. So if I'm going to listen to a book, I mean, I guess I could do it while I'm like doing laundry or whatever, but I just tend not to. So I'm still listening to Daisy Jones and the Six. I am also listening to and following along in the book to The Hobbit. I tried to just read it after I finished The Cliffs, and I don't know what it is. I can't fall into it. I have to focus on the reading of it. So I was like, let me try to listen to it and follow along in the book. And that is working so good. I'm really enjoying it. Will I listen to all the rest of them? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I am enjoying The Hobbit. And I did see all the movies. So there's that. But then I picked up Blackbird Oracle by Deborah Harkness. This is the 5th book in her Discovery of Witches series. Started out being a trilogy, and then she wrote a 4th book about Matthew's brother, and now she's got a 5th book. And I am loving this. I'm more than halfway through. I just started it last week, I think. Yeah, last week, towards the end of the week. And so I accidentally made a mistake, and when I got it, I got the large print, and the joke's on me because even with the large print, I still need glasses to read it. So, anyway, so this is like 600 pages, but I think the original copy is like 300 and change. It's just so long because it's large print. I bought it on Amazon. Could I have returned it? I guess I could have and just purchased the regular one, but why? What's the point? Really? What's the point? There's no point. It's fine. So, loving, absolutely loving this. It is really good so far. And their children, Pip and Becca, have a much bigger part in this story because in this story they're 6. So, but I'm so enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Today, I don't know if you can see out there, today is a rainy day. Yep, it is raining out. And I can't really complain because we haven't had a whole lot of rain, but I'm gonna complain. Yeah, I'm gonna complain because it's raining, and that just makes for a rainy day and a very bleary day. So my plans are to just read. I'm just gonna read. That's it. August is Thursday. So in August, I will end up having another Reese Witherspoon book to read, which I'm looking forward to because, like I said, I have really enjoyed all of her books that I've read so far. I don't think there's many. I haven't been doing it for years and years. I've only been doing it, started this year. Maybe in May. Might have been in May, I'm not sure. So I've only read like 4 or 5, like her book club books, but so far I have loved every single one. One of them was by Claire Lombardo, The Most Fun We Ever Had, and I loved that. And Claire Lombardo came out with a new book, Same as It Ever Was. Has nothing to do with the previous book. This is a totally different book. So I have this one I want to read. So that's good. I don't know if I showed you my I don't even know where I put them. I don't even remember what books I got from my Aardvark book box and my book of the month. Book of the month, I got like 4 books this month. Yeah. Did I need to do that? No. Did I anyway? Yeah. Just 'cause. But I can't remember which ones off the top of my head, which ones they were. I'm looking because I have a bunch of them on the floor here. But yeah, I'm not sure what they were. I don't know. I don't know where I put them. I probably put them away. So that's fine. Um, yeah. So I think that's it. I really just wanted to give you guys a little update, let you know I have 30 days, 31 days left of summer vacation, and then I start a whole new chapter, as far as work is concerned anyway. Um, the end of August, I'm going to see Kenny Chesney, so I'm excited about that. And then a few weeks later, I think it's like 3 weeks later, we go on our cruise, and I am super stoked about that. I've been wanting to go on a cruise with my husband for ages and ages and ages. So, very excited about that. It's coming up, and I am really looking forward to it. I wish I didn't have to take the time out of work, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just a week. The teacher will live, the kids will live, and I'm going to enjoy myself. All right, my friends, I'm going to get going. This was a little bit of a longer video, and I am sorry about that. I'm sorry about it if you don't like long videos, but if you do like longer videos, then you're welcome. All right, friends, I will talk to you really soon. Enjoy your reading and have a wonderful day. Bye.